Mwasibire muta, mwasibye mutya, amahoro, agandi, byaibo, habari gani, muraho, sangonini, kopango, odeo. For those of you who are wondering what that was, these are some of the various local greetings found in East Africa's diverse languages. Welcome to She Center, the female podcast, where I dive into the issues and experiences that affect women everywhere. I am your host, Resti Kansime, and I am passionate about creating a safe space for women to share their stories and triumphs. I want to thank you for tuning into my podcast, and I would love for you to join our community and stay connected with us beyond this episode. You can find us on Instagram at _She Center _podcast, and follow us on Facebook at the She Center Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to this podcast and hit that follow and like button on our social media to be part of the conversation. Hi, welcome back to yet another episode of She Center, the female podcast. I'm happy to have you back here in the mid of July. This is probably a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't know when you're going to listen to this, but I am recording this on a Saturday. The weather is good. It's been a little bit cold here in Germany, but right now the weather is so warm and I am on my way out to a barbecue. So I'm very excited. As you can see, I don't really do that much outings here. So, yes, welcome once again. I just wanted to make a quick reminder. Can you please subscribe, like, share this episode? It really goes a long way in helping me to spread the word. And I know I don't put a lot of content out there on social media, and it's something that I'm going to try and work on, but I rarely have the time to do that many times because I am doing a lot of work here and mothering a toddler, but I will be trying to put out more content. I had more time last year, but right now it's a little bit harder. So I'm going to do my best. I promise you. I'm going to move into the third year of recording the podcast. How amazing is that, guys? Anyways, I hope you're doing okay. And I hope you are enjoying these episodes that I'm bringing out to you. My guest today is Gertrude Atuhaire. This year, I went out with one of my former guests, Gloria, when I was in Uganda to an outreach at one of the schools, and I met a young girl who is in her really young stage of life as a young adult. We were going to the school and she was telling me about herself, and I was like, you know what, you need to come onto the podcast. It took us some time, but I finally reached out to her this month and we were able to do the recording. Gertrude, thank you so much for taking the time, and I was really inspired by your story. So in this story, you're going to find out how Gertrude started her business called Sami Beauty. So she's exploring herself and finding out what purpose is. She says she's still on the journey. She's still figuring things out, just like all of us are. But she's so young, and I'm like, girl, you have done way much more than many of us did at the age of 22. So a little bit of a snippet about her life. Gertrude, who was just finishing high school like a few years ago, she shares about how she was struggling with insecurities. She was finding herself, and so she ended up, peer pressure, alcohol, trying to fit in, and she pissed off her parents, and parents are like, we don't like this kind of person that you are. She wasn't happy because she's an introvert, but she was trying to be an extrovert. And she figured, you know what, to talk to boys, to do all these things, you need to be out there. And she then started drinking. But eventually she made the right decision and said, you know what, I need to stop doing this. And when she stopped doing this, she was able to see more of herself and embrace herself. And through that, she discovered that she was struggling with this acne, and she discovered the talent that she had in her. So she started to mix up some products, and she ended up making a product that helped her with her acne. And then she felt that God was telling her to post about it, and then she posted about it, and then people started buying, and then she realized, I'm not that good with business. And so she went to the university to study business. But not only did she do that, she also went into learning more about making more products. So I am very happy that I get to host a very young girl who is doing a lot of things at the age of 22. And I know that this story is going to inspire you and encourage you to know that, you know, it's not the end. Like, even if you're a young girl out there listening to this and you're wondering, I don't know what I'm doing, just start, just start. That's it, just start. Okay, guys, I have to go to enjoy myself. Have a lovely, lovely day and enjoy the episode. Love you. Bye. Hi, Scarlett. How are you doing? How are you?
I'm good.
I'm good. Okay, I'm glad to hear that you're okay. Thank you for making the time to join the She Center platform. As I explained to you, I think briefly when we met last, is it in May? No, April, right? Shortly before Easter. We
Yes.
met, for those who are listening, I met Scarlet during the outreach that I had with Gloria. And she was going to share her beautiful story. So I was like, we need to get you on the podcast because I was truly inspired by the work that you're doing to try and empower yourself and other women out there. That's very inspiring for someone as young as you are. And so I'm very happy that you honored my invitation. Maybe you can start out by introducing yourself and tell us who you are, what you do, and then I can be able to ask the next question.
All right. Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Gertrude Atuhaire, and I'm a student at Makerere University Business School. I pursue a Bachelor's of Commerce, and I'm also a business owner. And also, yeah, I'm a born again. I like swimming, and I'm also a daughter to someone. Yeah, that's what I can say.
That's good. Clearly, you came into the world from somewhere. So your name is
Yeah,
also Scarlett, right? Because I heard you say Gertrude.
yeah. Scarlet is just like a nickname. A nickname.
Really? That's interesting. Okay, so
Yeah,
I will
because
stick to
used like
Gertrude from now on.
in secondary where you had to pick your name, like your real names were kind of not fun, so you had a classy name, so so that's how the Scarlet name came. Yeah,
That's interesting. Yeah, I also had quite a number of names that I gave myself in primary, in secondary school. Okay, Scarlett. So thank you for coming once again. So I explained shortly about She Center, and every time I bring someone new on the podcast, I gain new listeners from their connections and the people who know them. So I like to reintroduce the She Center platform. So the She Center platform is not just like it's not just about the podcast. My vision is to build a platform, and my mission is to support, heal, and empower. That's the She in She Center. So what I want to do on the platform is to have several things on a website that a woman would need to be able to thrive, like to be able to be empowered, feel empowered. And while I've been doing the research for the last, I think, 5 years, I do recognize that it's not always easy to make people understand your vision. I'm sure you're going to share about this because you're also an entrepreneur, as you shared. It's not very easy to explain to people your vision. And in many cases, when you tell people, oh, I want to do this, if it's something that it hasn't already existed, it's quite harder to understand. So I figured I could start out a podcast and tell the women's stories. Through this podcast, I'm sure I'm doing what I wanted to do, like to give women a safe space for them to share their stories and for other women to be able to learn from their experiences. But at the same time, I am also gaining insight because every time I talk to someone, I realize, okay, there's this aspect of the platform that I'm building that I have to add on, because someone might share and I'm like, okay, I thought I had everything figured out on the platform, but now I have something. And the end goal for me is not only to build this platform, but I want to continue this research because I feel like I am called. I'm also a Christian, and I feel like this is my purpose on earth to empower women, and it gives me so much joy to do that. So I would like to pursue my PhD in the future and specifically use this topic on how women can be empowered through digitalization. So Yes, that's I wanted to just briefly talk about that. So your story can help someone who is going through what you're going through. And it might also make someone realize, okay, I'm in the same space or I've been through that space. And at the same time, I wanted to share that in the beginning, I started out by asking what happened to you. So my guests would come on here and share their stories. Like, I'm sure you'll be happy that you skipped that part. People would share like their whole life stories, like how their childhood has impacted the way they are and how they see the world. And I figured the season 2, this is the second year into the podcast, I asked, are you living in your purpose? Because I feel like a purpose is something that is very it's something that is seen different, like it's fluid. People see it differently. Other people believe purpose is this one thing, another believe purpose is another thing. Like others are like, yeah, purpose is fixed, it's one thing that you've been created to do. Others believe I'm learning. Because when I started out asking this question, as I said, I'm a researcher. I was asking, thinking people are going to say, oh yes, I'm living my purpose, I'm a teacher, I'm a mom, I'm a this. But then people are coming onto the podcast and saying, no, 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 my purpose is fluid. Like it changes in every season. My purpose in this moment could be to have this conversation with you. And it has broadened my understanding of the word purpose. So I want other women who are listening to this podcast to be able to see it in that way, to be able to learn from other people's stories who have lived different experiences. So I start out by asking the question, do you feel that you're living in your purpose right now? And how has your journey shaped this sense of purpose for you?
Okay, thank you. Now, concerning that question, I
Yeah.
would say that I'm on my road to my purpose. I'm not yet the purpose I want to become, but I'm just on my road to my purpose. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also
So maybe
seeing
you can
life.
share with that. How has your journey? Because I understand, like, is there anything that you feel like is your purpose? Because you say you're on your way there, you're on the journey to becoming. I would phrase it that way. You're on the journey to becoming. Maybe you can share with us, what do you envision your purpose to be, or what do you want to become?
Mm. What I want to become, it's like I'm on my road because I've now realized that I can become who I want to be. Like I can shape my life. That's why I said I'm on my road, because the kind of purpose that I want to be. I want to be, first of all, a woman empowerment, starting up a business. I already started one. I want to have a good life. I want to have a good life. I want to be like at peace with people. So that's why I say I'm on my road to that purpose, because I'm not yet there. I have some things that limit me, or maybe I stay in my comfort zone. But yeah, I'm still doing step by step, figuring out things. Yeah, since I'm just at campus, just 22, figuring out things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. And quite honestly, at your age 22, I didn't own a business. I did used to sell quite a number of things, clothes and here and there, but I did not have like an actual business as you do. Can you hear me? Yes. Yes, I wanted to encourage you before we go ahead
Okay.
because for
Yeah.
someone at your age,
Yeah.
22, I think there's so many
22.
people who are your age who have not started a business. So it's
True.
okay sometimes to feel like I have this big plan that I want in my life. And that's one thing that I'm learning. But I'm trying to pull something out of you that I really want you to maybe see in a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
You said you're a Christian, so what do you feel like God created you to do? Like what's that one thing that makes you happy? Where you feel like when I'm doing this thing, I'm happy and I feel
Mhm.
like that's why God created me.
Yeah. So one thing that makes me happy, it's woman empowerment. I'm like at heart, I feel like I can do woman empowerment, but I'm just realizing it that I do it. And also business wise, I'm this kind of person who's so creative. And it just didn't come like just over a sudden. I just got to a point where I sat down and I said, what do I really want in life? What do I really want? Outside
Yeah.
of doing what other people do, doing just maybe copying something as done as I said to do this now, let me do this. So I sat down because I reached like in my after my Form 6 vacation, it's when I started to really see things. What do you really want in life? Because back then in my mostly in my A level, mostly in my A level was when I'm now seeing that I'm now grown up. I started to even go to clubs because I was finding myself. Because I was this kind of person who used to be shy, used to be quiet, but I didn't like that quiet. I was like, maybe if I go to club, I'll be because I was this kind of person who liked to be jolly. I enjoyed seeing people who are happy, having fun, but yet me as this silent person. I was like, if I go to clubs, I'm going to be this happy, jolly person. So I first tried out
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
that period, like from my senior 5, senior 6, that COVID, it was a time where I was finding myself doing this. Even in the clubs, I found a drink. I said, okay. They told me when you drink, you be so free. So I said, now I think I should also try drink.
The
So that I
lies.
can be so free to. I feel like I was so touched,
Yeah.
and I wanted to unlock
Yeah.
myself. So I tried so many things,
Yeah.
trying to find myself doing this, dating, to a point of where I was like, when I do dating, I be heartbroken every time. Now let me just do friends with benefit. You come when we know this, and when I did it, we are not
Yeah.
having had because we know, just a benefit after a benefit. That's it. So that was the period I was in, just
Yeah.
doing anything. And also my parents were not happy about how I was behaving because I used to leave
Yeah.
home
Yeah.
back late. They were not happy. So when I finished my senior 6, I
Yeah.
sat down and I started talking to myself. What do you really want? Because I was tired of doing things where my parents are not happy. You're escaping from
Yeah.
home. Are not happy when they
Yeah.
hear you in clubs. They're not happy. So I sat down and I started talking to myself. What do you really want in life? And I was also tired of that life of doing friends with
Yeah.
benefit, that life being heartbroken every time, of that being there to get money.
Yeah.
You have to fast die, you have to do this. So I got tired of that life, and I sat down and I talked to myself. What do you really want in what in your life? So, and
In life.
I just
Yeah.
put myself speaking out like, I want a job, I want to be with money, I want to have peace. That's when I started really changing who I was. Yeah, now I even started sharing phone, like these things of keeping things on my phone. I was tired of that. So I started even sharing my phone. Like at home, I can just leave there my phone and you can check anything because I have nothing to hide. So in that period, like after my senior 6, when I sat down and I said, what do you really want? I wanted a job. The
Yeah.
first thing I wanted a job. So when I went to look for jobs, I tried to look, I didn't get. I said, now God, what do you really want? Because also God, in that period, I used to hear a voice telling me, stop doing that. That thing, you're doing it, but it's breaking you down. I used to do things and they used to break me down. And I just didn't know, maybe I just didn't know the right way to do it because I was just doing one thing, just
Yeah.
doing. So in that period, when I was looking for a job, I didn't get a job. Then after some time, and also in that period, I used to have acne. I used to have a bad skin. So in that period, I just had a voice telling, why don't you start posting your face, telling people how you have overcome the acne? Because I had this thing of mixing Vaseline, doing face masks. I used to do those things, and I used to just do. I used to just for just. Now when that voice told me that you start posting, just post your acne, telling them how you cleared it. Now the first video I posted, my audience inboxed me, telling me that I want to use the products you're using. And the products I was using, I was making them. So I told her, I make these products. Then we're like, I want to buy them. Bought them the following day. And that's even how I entered business. Yeah, and I remember also telling
Wow.
God that I'm busy. I want this business to to make me be busy so that I don't go back to the other things I was doing. And really, this business in my vacation, vacation is where people really get sport, be themselves, what. In
Yeah.
that period,
Yeah.
fixing my business, so busy learning this because I didn't know anything about business. So in that period, it's where I was so busy to a point that I even forgot all other bad things I was doing or what. Because in that period, I also started to now talk to my mom. What should I do this? What should I do? What should I do? Yeah. So that's how I started to go to my road of my purpose after leaving all
Wow.
other things. Yeah.
Wow. That's so encouraging, Scarlett, and I'm really proud of that because it's very hard for many girls to find themselves at such a young age to discover or to be dedicated as you are and to use your past to realize, you know what, this is what I've been going through. Some of us, it took us a long time. It took me a really long time to be able to sit down and be like, this life is not for me. Like I think it was probably lack of guidance, or because I was seeing everyone was doing the same thing. You
Doing
don't
it,
really see what the problem is with some things, but at the end of the day, there is something inside you that always tells you, no, that life that you're living. Like I was at campus and I was drinking, and for me, my drinking was mostly like you shared, like when you're like, if you take this drink, people were like, you're very
You're
like
going to
life
go
becomes very
drink.
easy. So
Yeah.
I relate to your story so much in that case because I started to drink because I was anxious. Like I was those girls who grew up in boarding school, in girls' schools only. So I was shy, shy, but not like, I don't know how to explain it. Like shy with people that I don't know, but with people that I know, I was very stubborn and very talkative. So I left my single girls' school and went to a mixed school, and that's when I realized, yeah, life is not easy. You can't be yourself. You're very anxious, and when you're hanging out with your friends, there are boys there. Like, what do I do? And then people gave me some alcohol. I was like, this alcohol has taken away all that fear. So eventually I started to depend on it to, be social. Like when you're out and you're with your friends and you're like, let me just take like some little alcohol, and then everything that I'm thinking in my head is going to go out. Even that thinking of I'm doing something bad, you just forget about it when you're drunk.
Also
But I
like to
remember,
fit in.
I remember, those moments where you drink. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What did you
And
say?
also, I was trying to say that also like those moments where you drink just to fit in a group because your friends are drinking, you be like, now if I drink, I'm going to
Exactly.
fit them. We're going
Exactly.
to have fun
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I went through all that and I didn't really know that's what like I didn't have the conscious mind to know that's what happened because everyone around you is drinking. You don't really know
Mm-hmm.
that that's why you're doing it because I think everyone at that age is drinking because of something in particular. So I remember when I was like, it took me until I was like 30 years old, Scarlett, for me. So you're lucky you realized yours so early. Mine was just recent. Um, I woke up one day, it was actually in the pandemic as well. In the pandemic, I started to ask like, when there's no drinking, I had to study. I was writing my thesis for my studies. And I'm like, Banange God, like, no, you can't just go and hang out with people. I had nowhere to escape. So for once I had to just sit there, no plot, no nothing, just stay in my room. And that's when now all these fears and the emotions, everything that had been bearing down by just being social and drinking, it came on top. And I realized in that moment that I had a lot of insecurities. Like I feared to be myself. I didn't feel like myself was something like in new groups of people. Like I didn't know how to, like you said, like to be yourself. So you meet new people and you're like, you know what, let me just drink some alcohol and fit into this group. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to stop drinking, and I stopped
Mm-hmm.
drinking. And that's when, like you, I started to realize, oh my God, I have this gift to do certain things in my life. And for me, that's when this vision of She Sent, I felt like that's when God gave it to me and told me, there are so many other girls like Scarlett, for instance. You're young and you've discovered this early, but there are so many girls, I'm sure you know from your friends, who are still going through this. And there's no way you can sit them down to show them, man, that road you're leading is a very terrible road. But in many cases, if you share your story, there's a way someone can see themselves in your story and say, okay, let me try and reflect on what this person has said. So I'm glad that I can relate to your story as one person, and I'm sure very many other people are going to, but I do wish that I had gotten that realization earlier. Now you mentioned something about business. So when you said that business, it was you fulfilling like your need to say, you know what, I've struggled with this. Let me start to share about other people. So you did the research. I can see now you're also studying business. Can you take us on the journey of how the business, like now that you've become an entrepreneur, like how has that been going for you? Do you feel more empowered? How do you feel empowered? Do you feel like it is helping you to help other people? Please take us on this journey.
Okay, now on that journey of starting a business, first of all, I started this business after hearing a voice telling me. So I believe that that voice was God telling me that you go to this journey. Now, when I said, okay, God has told me to go to this journey, that things are going to be so smooth. I'm going to start a business since, like, God has already
Yeah.
pushed, like, I'm going to start buying. It's going to be like a smooth journey. Now, after
Yeah.
starting, after getting that first customer, bought the products because the products she bought, I just make like just getting a ready-made cream and I just put some powder I mix and also that person that the soap that I bought from like I was using like I didn't make the soap. I just bought it and I sold to her a higher price. And now after this person buying the products, I was expecting results to be good because for me they helped me clear my acne. The person after like 2 weeks she inboxed telling me that the skin has broke out, the skin is so spot, like I spot her skin. So I got so scared. I was like, what am I going to do? That's when I started the journey of now researching how how can I make products that are so effective. Because I started that journey when I didn't know how to make any single thing. I didn't know how to run a business. I didn't know finances. I didn't know how to make a soap or a cream. I was just there, just following, doing what. That's how. That's when I started that journey of building this business. I started doing research. When I tried to talk to my parents that I want to do a course to do those things, my parents didn't allow it. So I had to use the means that I had, resources that I had. I went on YouTube. I started to research how to make these things. I watched so many videos. So in that vacation, I really researched about how to make creams, how to make it. I used to every time I used to improve my products, researching, giving them to people. So in my first years, like my first year wasn't good for me because even though people used to buy, I used to just eat their money. Or maybe when someone buys, that thing doesn't work for her. So it was a moment where it wasn't good for me. It was like my down moment. It wasn't good for me to research. Then the more I researched, the more because this thing was already inside me, but I didn't know. So the more I researched and things that get better, I learned how to make a cream. I learned how to make all these other things that I'm selling. Because right now I have like over 5 products I'm selling. They are concerning mostly acne. So I learned how to make all
Wow.
those things. Yeah, to now, right now, if I give someone a product, I'm very sure that this product is going to work for this person. Because it took me years to formulate it, to improve it, to make it reach where it was. Because now, right now, I'm making 3 years
Yeah.
into formulate. Yeah. So right now, I've really
Wow.
improved everything. I've learned how to count. I've learned because in that period before in that first year, I used to cry every time, telling God, "You told me to do this thing, but people are not what? People are not clearing up. People are not seeing changes in my products." Until I stopped crying and I started to research why is this? Until
Yeah.
I was just like making some mistakes, maybe formulating them wrongly until I started formulating them
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really amazing, and I believe uh, even if you just to encourage you, I've read quite a number of books, and all of them always come to that point where you can have a really big vision, you try out different things, and many of them might be a mistake. I'll tell you a short story. I read this book that was talking about different things that have been that different people who have started products or started like companies which were a failure in the beginning. And I learned in that book that Coca-Cola was actually a mistake. Did you know that?
I didn't know. I didn't know.
The story of Coca-Cola is that I think the person who started it was some kind of biochemist or scientist or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was mixing a formula to make, I don't know what, maybe medicine or whatever. And in that formula, he ended up creating the Coca-Cola mix.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing to understand, to hear that story, because I was like, that's quite amazing. I don't know 100% how true it is, but it was in a book, so I'm guessing it's true. But apparently, that person was doing something different, mixing a formula for something different, and he ended up by mistake creating Coca Cola, which ended up being a huge brand. And also, they say that aeroplanes, like the people, the two brothers, they're called, I think, the Andrew brothers, is it? I've forgotten their names. They're brothers who started the aeroplanes, like planes and stuff. They failed over and over again, and while they were failing, they were trying to discover, like, understanding that, like, for instance, they would make, like, you know how you make your model, like how you say that you made your product and you're like, this is going to
Yeah.
work, and then you give it to someone, it doesn't work. So that
Doesn't
gives
work.
you feedback to know, okay, this hasn't worked for them, how can I improve it? So apparently these guys would develop, like, they had their research, they developed what could, like a plane, the wings and everything, and then they had the product, they went to test it out in different places, like over and over again. You should read about them. Apparently they tried it out in different places, and every time they would fail, it would crash, because they would realize, like, maybe that's not where the wind is. So they learned so much on the way, and then eventually they developed what is now an aeroplane, the aeroplane concept. So just to encourage you, I think all of us have to go through that journey. I think if you start out and things are smooth from the beginning, there is no lesson to learn in that. And being a young person, that should encourage you to know that at least you're still young, because some people are failing at 50.
That's true.
Some people are failing at 50, and that can be frustrating if you're older and you've put, all your resources and your money and all your everything in it. But failing at such a young age, I think it's good, because when you get to that point in your life, you realize, oh, and in addition to that, it's not like as if you have all the available resources to you. Like, you don't have everything that you would need to get to that point. Some people fail even after they have gone to school and studied biochemistry to mix chemicals and all those things, and they still fail. So I hope that's something that can encourage you. But maybe you can mention some of the products that you are making and where people can get them, so that, and what is your business called?
Okay. So my business is called Sami Beauty. We
Yeah.
deal in production of products for acne prone skin, pimples, dark spots, and all other side effects you can get when you have acne. We can solve that problem. So we have products like face cleansers, we have creams, we have serums, and also other tropical creams that we can recommend you. Yeah, those are the products we sell currently, but in the near future we are going to, because people have been, they also want body products, so we want to go into body products also in the maybe like next year, because I'm still planning it. I
Yeah.
don't want to go into it. I just want to go. I'm sure this thing works, and yeah, to give people what they want. Yes.
Okay, that's amazing, and I think it's really cool to know that you've studied it at such a young age. You're studying business, so is the business much better now that you're studying it in class?
Yeah, it's much better
Is
now
the
because
business side of this easier for you now that you're studying business in class?
yes, because I chose the course I'm doing right now at campus because I didn't know how to account. Now I'm studying all that thing, and it's really helping me about my business, and also to see that in the past I used to eat all my capital and my sales. Now this time around I'm supposed to separate capital. Like I do everything when I know that it's supposed to be like this. So it has really helped me now to account business. Because in business, if you don't know how to account, the business can fail just because you do not know how to account. Yeah.
Very true. That's very true. Yeah. I had a business after campus and I would eat the money. I would make so much of it and eat it. And my husband would be like, my husband was then my boyfriend, who'd be like, do you know you'd
Yeah.
be so far if you actually knew how to account for your business? Because I would make so many profits and I'm like, yeah, I have money, let's spend it. And then we start afresh from the beginning. And I wanted to ask, like, you said something about your purpose, something that it is a journey. So, what drove you, apart from you having bad skin,
Yeah.
what else drives you in this business of yours? Like, what makes you wake up every day to go to work to make these products?
What drives me is now realizing that I can do some things. Like just stand like waking up in the morning and I feel like yeah, I can talk to this person, maybe I can empower this person. I'm this kind of person who I now allowed it that I'm this quiet person, and I'm learning to be in that environment of being quiet person, because in that quiet mode it helps me to research more. It helps me not even to have friends that maybe um maybe distract me, because I'm this kind of person who has few friends and that really helped me out. Yeah, so that's what I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So, when you say empowering other people, how do you want to empower them? You keep saying
How
that word. I want to understand it further.
so the first thing I did, I joined. I'm now a Sunday school teacher. So in that Sunday school teaching, it's where we teach children the word. Also advise them, empower them. Maybe because in that period, if you don't advise a child, can just do anything this person wants. So whenever I go maybe to Sunday to these children, because I'm mostly now dealing in children that 13 to 15 there. So I told them that everything, all those things you see, they can also happen to you, but you have a choice to do it. So I keep on advising them, and they also ask me now, what if it's this, what if it's that. So I keep on advising them, and I'm really seeing that this empowerment thing is really coming out, because I feel, do you know, feeling something inside you, but you don't know even how to do it, and you're still
Yeah.
looking, where am I, where is this thing going to be, where am I positioning myself. So currently I'm in Sunday school. Yeah,
Yeah.
and also my friends, when they see me, they ask me, how do you do this? Because right now, when I transitioned to now stopping the clubbing, stopping the dating, people started to see it, and they now see a totally different person. Because right now, if someone is to see me right now, can't believe that as this person who used to go to clubs, they see me as a serious person, focused person, but I have a story behind. So when they see me, they ask me now, how
Yeah.
do you handle? Because now I get friends that also want to start businesses, and they feel like they're
Yeah.
almost giving. And me, when I see them giving up, I feel like I tell them, no, just pick one thing. Stop doing many, many things all at once. Pick one thing and pick on that. And I'm really seeing, encouraging my friends who want to start businesses, who are stuck, who are
Yeah.
heartbroken. I remind them that choose what you want, choose what makes you happy. So that's
Yeah.
how that empowering thing
Yeah.
is really coming out. It's not yet out yet, but I feel like it's something in me that is trying to move out, to come out of me. Yeah.
No, I actually want to encourage you. I think that's why I'm exploring the question, are you living in your purpose? Because many times we are living in our purpose and we don't know it. And I just wanted to encourage you. You are already you are
Yeah.
already living in your purpose. You're empowering women, you're empowering young girls, and you don't even know it. I've been trying to get you to acknowledge that you're already living your purpose, but you keep thinking that you're not. Because, number one, the one thing that I was really hoping you could say, you
Yeah.
making skincare products for women is an
Yeah.
empowerment of itself. It empowered you to feel better when you lost your acne, and you making that same product, you're empowering another woman to find their beauty on the outside. I don't know if you recognize that, because if I have
Yeah.
bad skin, in many cases, the studies say that women who have issues with their skin are much more insecure. They feel like, it affects their everyday life. And for you to make a product that is taking that problem away from them, you're empowering them. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
Yes, and also I've loved to hear how you're encouraging your friends to who are starting businesses to know that I started from there and I can help you. And I think you're already living in your purpose.
Yes.
Your purpose has different I would say different sections. You have different things that you're doing with the gifts that God has given you to empower other people and to do the work probably that He created you to do. But I think it would be important that you recognize that you are already in it. You have a bigger vision of things that you want to do. Like maybe you might think that when I get to the point where my products are in capital shoppers and what, that's when I would have attained my purpose. But
Yeah.
even when you're doing it right now, like you showing up every day and changing people's lives through your products, that is already living in your purpose. It will get to a bigger, like your vision will get bigger. You reach a point one day and do bigger things. But right now, I think you have to acknowledge that you're already doing the work. And for me, that's very inspiring to know that at your age, at a very young age of 22, you're doing all this work. Okay, so I want to ask one last question. Looking ahead, how do you see your purpose and contributions growing? And what role do you think a platform like She Center can play in supporting women through this process of discovering and evolving their purpose?
All right. Now, where I see myself like when I am like 30, because now in this, I learned that all these problems that I was facing, they helped me not even to go back to that because they made me so busy, so stressed. So in this period where I was formulating, because I really wanted something that works. So I really don't take this period of maybe suffering, doing this thing that is not working. It's really hoping my product to so by the time I reach like 30, I want my product would be like someone using it and it's really effective, and also making also other products because now people are really seeing what I do, and even just standing and just talking to someone can really see that this person is really serious about the product. So where I see
Yeah,
myself
yeah,
in all,
yeah.
yeah, helping people clear their acne, because I also do teen products. People in their 13 years are getting acne. I also help them. So by the time I reach 30, I now be having a shop, making all products, face and body. They're already there, helping people clear their
Yeah,
acne. Yeah, and also even having other
yeah.
branches because
Wow.
I get from other parts of the country and they're like, we are inaccessible. So I really want to also have other branches where not I can employ someone. Maybe someone's looking for a job, I can just open up a branch and I tell this person to manage it, like to also create employment opportunities with the
Yeah,
business.
yeah.
So how I
That's cool.
see
And
how
how do
the
you think
product
She Center platform? Yeah,
can help,
yeah,
because if someone hears these stories can avoid it can help this person avoid maybe some mistakes, or maybe is also just starting a business and things are failing and thinks that is a failure, and yet it's just a process. That's in fact when you get problems, you're just in a process, you're supposed to just continue. So when
Yeah.
someone sees a video like my video, can really see it. Oh, you can stop all that and now you go on what you want.
Gertrude, it has been an amazing time to listen to your story and to be inspired by your journey. I can relate so much to your story and I look forward to seeing how big you're going to be. I know that if you continue with this vision, you're going to make a lot of really big changes in your society and in the country, and I can't wait to see how big your vision is going to turn out to be. Do you have any last words you'd like to say to any woman, any girl out there who is listening, who might be facing what it is that you faced and is still trying to figure out how to navigate that season?
I will tell that person, maybe if wants to start up a business but is scared, to just go and do it. And also to trust the process. Like if you maybe start a business and you're seeing things are not working out, to just remember that it's like a process. Things can sometimes be like that. Yeah, and to trust the process, and with time we'll see the fruits. Yes.
Yeah, that's very true. Thank you so much, Gertrude. I really appreciate that. Please help me spread the word by sharing our episodes with your friends, family, and followers. Let's amplify the voices of women, break barriers, challenge stereotypes, and create a network of support and empowerment. Together, we can bring about positive change and make this world a better place for all. This is She Center, the female podcast, where women's stories matter. I love you all. God bless.